Hello everybody, ADDF Toxic here, and I'd like to talk a little bit about the collection of songs that I wrote for the Bottle Rocket Gaming M-80 server, which I put in an album on Jamendo called Music from the Bottle Rocket Gaming's M-80 server. It's a long title, I know. It's more of a collection of songs than an album to me, because an album, when I think of an album, I like albums that have a sort of flow to it. And this album doesn't really have that flow to it, but I'd like to go over the track list a little bit here. So track 1 starts off with Mutant Creeper Battle, which is a song that I wrote for episode 7 of my Let's Play on the M-80 server. Because I had video footage of a Mutant Creeper Battle and no commentary to go with it, so I wrote some music to go along with it instead, and that's kind of one of the original things that I used to do with music all the time, is create music for my videos, because I wasn't aware how easily I could get royalty-free music from Kevin MacLeod and places like that. And then track 2 is the Train Ride to Gamestown, which is one of my favorite songs that I've ever written. It's an idea that popped into my head shortly after we got the started putting passenger trains onto the line, and I got in a train that went down the West Line, and I took it all the way to Mining Town and back into Hubtown, and when as I was returning to Hubtown, I kind of felt like I had just went on this long journey, and there should be some sort of soundtrack that describes how started in Hubtown, went and saw all these sights, and then ended up back at Hubtown again, kind of a resolution in the music. And then I had this footage from the open house day of us riding the train up the North Line to Gamestown, and so I decided I'd take this crazy idea of mine and write a 10-minute song, and it turned out to be one of my favorite songs I've written, like I said. And so it starts off in Hubtown in the industrial area, and then from there it goes onto a train ride, so it's kind of more bluegrassy feel. A few different sites along the way with a different style of music, and then end at Gamestown. And I really wasn't sure originally what Gamestown was going to sound like, but I just started placing some random things on my project, and random instruments, and liked the results so much that I decided a couple of weeks later to experiment with that sound, and ended up writing a 7-minute song, which is track 3. I call it Gamestown theme on the album. I have the album open on my computer, that's why I keep looking. I actually like that's my other favorite song that I've made, and I like it better than in the train ride song, because it kind of has this intro that I wasn't able. I originally had in the train Gamestown theme, but then I had the banjo, which kind of ruined one of the effects for me. But I put that effect back when I made the Gamestown theme. So then track 4 and track 5, Mutant Creeper Battle Extended and Train Ride to Gamestown V1. Okay, this is where the whole thing I was talking about with flow of the album, this is where it goes straight out the window. Like, the first place where it goes straight out the window is, you end Train Ride to Gametown with the Gamestown theme, and then after that's over, the Gamestown theme starts up again, which, listening to this album as a whole is not something that I'd probably do for that reason. along with the whole track 4 and track 5. Now, explanations for track 4 and track 5. When I originally wrote Mutant Creeper Battle, I opened up Melody Assistant, wrote the music. On my other computer I was watching the video that it was supposed to be synced up to, and made sure that the music synced up with the video. And then when I exported the music into a WAV file or MP3 file or whatever, put it in my video project, it didn't quite sync up properly. And the reason is OpenShot doesn't run very smoothly when it's doing a preview. And OpenShot's my video editor, by the way. So it's chopping every second. It has this little half-second pause. So that got the music out of sync enough that the final finish, like the sound that was supposed to be when the Mutant Creeper dies, was way after the Mutant Creeper died, which wasn't right. So I had to go back and resync that up a little bit. And so the original track that I tried putting in is the extended version, and that's track 4. Track 5, Train Ride to Gamestown V1, is the same kind of idea, except with the train ride. It was so long since I wrote the Mutant Creeper Battle that I forgot how out of sync my music gets when I'm watching an OpenShot on a different computer. There was a whole 12 measures of the music at 135 beats per minute, I think was the tempo of that song. There was a whole 12 bars extra before the Winter Village. The Winter Village style of music and the theme for the Winter Village ended up starting after the train had exited Winter Village, which is obviously wrong. So I had to take out one of the 12 bars, because that's basically most of the train ride is a bunch of 12 bars. I had to take out one of the 12 bars, and I was okay with that because I wasn't really crazy over that 12 bar anyway, but that meant that I had to move the transition into the Winter Village into one of the 12 bars that I liked a little bit better, because I was playing with different themes on the banjo and stuff with the different 12 bars that I was making. So I had the transition into the Winter Village theme I didn't like quite as much the second time. So that's kind of the reason that I kept both versions around, just for those. It's like half a minute of difference. Well, plus there's like 7 seconds. It's 7 seconds longer, the V1 version, so I don't know, I thought I'd throw it on there. Now the album art for this album is the BRG Hollywood sign that Warped and Yankee made on the M-80 server. I just took a screenshot of that and put a couple more album arty things on it. And I like the way it looks. But that's it for this album overview. I just wanted to kind of get some of this information, just share some of this insider information with you, I guess. So yeah, have a good life.